Yo guys, what's going on? Sam here. Today I'm bringing you another manga review. This time we'll be talking about another series that just recently released, which is Undead Unluck Volume 1. Now this series has a lot of hype behind it. I know this and Mashal have been kind of slowly, steadily becoming mainstays in the Shonen Jump manga. And I was super excited to read this. I've heard nothing but great things from people on Instagram. And I just really was excited. The art looks great. I like the concept of the uns where everybody has their own unique ability. And yeah, I was pretty excited and had some high hopes for this volume. So I want to talk about it with you guys and let you know what I think. Alright, so I want to start off always with the quality of the book. It's a Viz Shonen Jump manga. I'll show off the front and the back and then the spine. Very good. This is the standard of pretty much all manga that I rate it by. It's great. The cover's glossy. It feels great in the hands. The spine opens up pretty well, so you can read everything. A lot of the older ones have a little bit issue with that, but the newer ones are pretty good with it. And yeah, it's just a really standard, really solid quality manga by Viz. So basically, Undead Unluck is about these two characters. They meet accidentally. She's basically trying to end her life because everything she does to people around her causes bad luck and usually ends in death. So she's just tired of hurting other people and basically wants to end it all when she meets him. And then he can't die, which is his superpower, his unpower. So he's undead and she's unluck. And he's been alive for who knows how long. They haven't disclosed that yet, at least as of volume 1. And he wants to basically use her, which her name is Fuko, and his name is Andy. Andy wants to use Fuko to basically end his life at some point. So he grows attached to her. All the while, they find out that there's an organization by the government that hunts down undead, or not undead, but users, which they call negators, which leads them to try and join the organization so they don't have to be pursued and killed. Obviously, he can't die, but she can die, so he wants to protects her, so that he can figure out a way to use her to end his life later. So yeah, it's a really fun concept. It's a really interesting power system, how everybody has like basically one quirk. So it's not super original, but it's definitely really fun because, you know, it's not like My Hero where everybody has a quirk. It's just some people have these negate abilities. And I really liked it. I definitely say I'm a little disappointed. It didn't get me to my max hype. I tried to go in, you know, fair and not super hyped, but I was really excited for this. And as I read on, it got a little worse each chapter. The first chapter is really good. It's one of the best first chapters that I'd ever read in, honestly, any Shonen Jump. It just sets up the scene really well with the story and how things go. But the flow and the pacing get a little bit rougher with each chapter. It just feels like the author was able to like create a really good first chapter, and then it just feels like he had to rush and wasn't able to flesh out each chapter as thoroughly as the first one was. And I want to show off some art because the art is really good. There's some really great double spreads, not even only in just the first chapter, but here's some art. It's really good. Some huge details, giant explosions. It's really great. There is some rough spots throughout the book, like some unfinished panels or just really rough stuff. This one especially, since it's such a big, I'll try and zoom in. Since it's such a big panel, it's a lot more obvious that it's not as clean and tidy as the other ones, because you can see even in this panel here how much much cleaner the lines are. And there's a couple of that which is a little upsetting, but you know, when you're writing, you know, especially the first chapter is like 50 something pages. When you're writing 50 pages, 19 pages every week, it's tough to, you know, keep the quality. But so it's a little disappointing, but I do understand it. The comedy in this is really good. The jokes play really well. It's not the funniest thing ever, but the jokes are good and they're solid, and I did get a couple chuckles out of me. The characters are all really interesting. They have all their little quirks and personalities of a shonen manga, which you come to expect. Andy's really fun. Fuko's really silly. She's really cute for being shy and basically not an incel. I guess the girls could be incels, but you know, she's a neat, or somebody who stayed inside her whole life because she didn't want to cause harm to others, so she doesn't have great social skills or stuff like that. But she's really cute, and these two have a really good main character dynamic. They're really enjoyable together, and they bring the best out of both of each other. There is some etchiness, some kind of like, I won't say unnecessary, but a little over the top kind of unnecessariness, but it is played for jokes. Some of the etchiness where he'll just like grab her boobs, but it works out because the way to activate her unluck ability is through physical contact, and the more intense touches, like kissing and hugs and stuff like that, brings out the bigger or more tragic luck, or negative luck, I should say. So there, it does work. It's a little, I don't want to say obnoxious, but it's a little unnecessary, but it does work for the most part. And if you're not a big fan of any ecchi, you might not like it, but it works and can be played for some gags, which do work really well. Like I said, there's some pacing issues that do creep up towards the end. It just feels like the manga kind of slowly gets to where it's trying to get to. And sometimes when they're explaining or figuring out the powers, it's not very well explained or fully like told, I guess. I don't know. It's a little confusing on the explanations, but maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm an idiot or something. But I still really enjoyed it. I do recommend it. It's a 9.99, typical single Takamon price tag. It's enjoyable. The story can pretty much go anywhere. The first volume does kind of end kind of on super climactically. It does leave you figuring out like what's going to happen next, but it's not super satisfying ending, so it's hard to exactly say if it'll get better or worse. I definitely am excited to keep reading. I think it will pick up, so maybe volume 2 will be really good, and I'll absolutely change my mind and love this series. But right now I'm a little sitting on the fence still. It is enjoyable. I think you can get a lot out of it if you like shonen jump titles. There is a lot to it. The art's great. It's funny. The characters are good. The story's good. It's just some of the pacing and some of the explanation of the powers or figuring out the powers is a little confusing. But I still do recommend it, and I think you guys will really like it if you like Shonen Jump or just shonen in general. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you guys have read it, if you guys like Undead Unluck, or if there's another title I should check out. I'd love to hear from you guys. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.